Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game. So they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they come in as a team that looks like a well-oiled machine for the postseason, winners of 8 of their last 10.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write, possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? What? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
A handoff to Barkley. And he'll be dropped at the 30. And a shifty move got him a couple extra on the play. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. A first down carry for Barkley. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. We'll look now at the starting 11 on defense for Dallas. Against the pass, they're toward the middle of the league, number 15 in the NFL.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the number 1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
They're going to look to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. 23 yards on the play.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. It's Barkley on the counter. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jamarcus Lawrence in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
This now play number 9 on the opening drive, but it's 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the 1st quarter.
Too many ones in this play. 1st quarter, 1st drive, 1st interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 16 carries, 83 yards.
And a rushing title is definitely within sight, so the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there, but they also understand that they're going to face some really stacked defenses down the stretch because they don't want it to happen at their expense.
2nd down, Prescott. He's got his man Sharp complete and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
A first down carry by Elliott. Fancy footwork at the 45. Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Cowboys have taken the early lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Here's Chandler Catanzaro for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And that makes the score 7-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. As of this moment, as pretty much everyone knows, they sit alone in that top spot, but nothing is guaranteed. They haven't even clinched the playoffs, so a good start, but a long way to go.
And you know, a blunt veteran inside their locker room has stood up at one point or another and said, you know all this means nothing so far. We've got to cover this, get it done. What do we want to be? It's like winning a title in August, right, in preseason. Doesn't count. Let's go ahead and get this thing done.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's got him in. Complete. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. And even 70 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
First trip to the red zone for the Giants. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They'll give it to him up the middle. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This is 3rd and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington. Back to throw. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So put 3 on the board, but from that far into enemy territory, probably hoping for more.
Yeah, I think they're going to get together on the sideline and talk about it, right? Because you get that far, that deep, you want to come away with a touchdown. They'll take the 3, but they're going to file it away for the future.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. This will be fielded at the 17. And a 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
He's not exactly had a banner start to this game. We're still in the 1st quarter. He's already thrown an interception, and that should have been the 2nd one.
Here's a give to Barkley. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
He'll look to throw. For Kidder here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. A give to Elliott. Takes this to the 45. Not much space there after the nice move. A gain of 3, second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 7-3 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. Oh, now he bowls him over. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That goes for a gain of 31.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now Elliott. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal.
Partner, it's decision time now. I know it's still just the 2nd quarter, but you have an opportunity to either kick the field goal or go for it and try and score a big-time touchdown. This is why the head coaches get paid the big bucks.
And Cat Catanzaro's kick is right through, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it's a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
How fun will it be to watch Barkley and Elliott go at it twice a year? Here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He'll rifle. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 32 that time. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know they're going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A good pick up there, 26 yards. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. But they also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws that quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. Now Saquon Barkley. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down.
Let's go!
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. In for the score. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And we are even at 10 apiece. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Prescott now on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. Shedding through the defense. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And that's complete to Jesse James. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
give is to Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. Second down. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Throw left side complete. That's James. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. The Cowboys on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Prescott from the gun. Well, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Looking to throw. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. .4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll set up a throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him, they've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Giants on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now back to throw. It's caught. Shepard. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Giants have broken our tie as they take the lead.
And that's exactly what you're supposed to do with good field position. You make the other side pay when you don't have far to go for the score.
Rosas to add the extra point. Rosas good with the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Here's Prescott. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He only has a single solo carry, 1. Numero uno, second quarter. They need to get him the ball more, don't they?
I'm not the greatest statistician in the world.
Yeah, you are.
But a back like that with only 1 carry kind of takes me back to college in the classroom. Not enough evidence to declare what you should do the rest of the game. Give him the ball some more and find out.
Will they incorporate him? We'll find out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his second there.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. He'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. On 1st and 10, Prescott. James has got it. Complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Prescott. Over the middle, Sharp's got it complete. And he gets it down to the 32. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top, as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, where it was the Chiefs who were able to come away with the home victory. 35-10 was the final. From there, we head east to Cleveland to check on the Browns at home at First Energy Stadium. And they couldn't get the job done as they fall to the visiting Baltimore Ravens. 35-7 was your final in a one-sided affair. And lastly, we'll all be tuned in on Monday night for what should be a great one between the Green Bay Packers and the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. A second time. Oh, it spins again. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Second half starts with a carry by Elliott. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again, it's Elliott. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. To throw is Prescott. And he's got Snead. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 47. This is Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Second down, Prescott. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count
Still
got him
second
there?
down.
And maybe that extra hut, that extra emphasis on it. Got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
So the penalty erases their earlier loss. Now it's 2nd and 8. They'll try again with Elliott. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Leonard Williams in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week. And this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back. And they did a great job in the first half. But now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky. But that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up. This should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal.
Let's go.
They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
What an advantage having a lead guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Back to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
The Giants on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 11. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. And the Giants send out their punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Fielded at about the 28. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlight showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
And this one caught by Dez Bryant. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First catch for Bryant. He's got a first down. Prescott now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Elliott. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, as the defense rallies quickly after the nice move. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Pass incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Prescott. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
So now here comes the field goal unit again, and this phase of the game has been an absolute disaster so far. This from 54 yards away. And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright, and this score will stay right where it is. So that's now 12 points that they've left on the field, 4 missed field goals.
Now, you and I were both hoopers, so you know it's like being a shooter in basketball. Sometimes when things go wrong, it gets in your head, and it's tough to get back on track. And that one, it never had a chance.
New York set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley fighting through. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the
First down.
conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They're going to look to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
The toss out to Barkley.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
They go play action here on 1st down. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 23 yards on the play. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they show to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. They'll look to throw here. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC.
And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He completes it to Bryant. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Prescott finding his big receiver, Bryant, there for a Cowboy first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Prescott on 1st down. He finds Malcolm Mitchell here. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
First down, Prescott. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. They're calling a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Prescott looks to throw on 1st. Over the middle, the catch made by Mitchell. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Caught by Snead over the middle. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
They go to Elliott again. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his second touchdown of the night. And the Cowboys draw a bit closer. He's having a nice little game. Maybe already has an eye on that 3rd touchdown.
And how about what our producer, Christian McLeod, likes to say when they've scored touchdowns like this? He's put a tent up in Touchdown City.
Catanzaro now for the extra point. Extra point good by Catanzaro. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback, which to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
They'll set up to throw. On the crossing route, complete. It's Shepard. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he's way down into Dallas territory inside the Cowboy 15. A big play there for the Giants. 48 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They come out here in the eye. They'll set up a throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. Looking to throw. And that is incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A first down throw for Prescott. Over the middle, Schultz got it complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 1st and 10, Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10, right at the 40. And again, it's Prescott. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. He's back to throw. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. They'll look to throw. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it's a 2nd down. He'll look to throw. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And they'll get this down to the 10. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Back to throw. And Dez has got it. Dez Bryant for the Cowboy touchdown. Dez Bryant, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys will have the lead if they can hit the PAT. Now they can boot it through on the 0-8 Cowboys' important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused because they still have some work to do?
Point after now from Catanzaro. A very important extra point there, up and good. And that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. So that one, an 8-play drive, it spans 75 yards. And it's capped off for the Cowboys touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
they practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Back to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. A handoff to Barkley. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They're going to look to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to look, and this is caught. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. In for the score. And the G-men have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Now the offense will stay out there. They're going to line up and try for 2. They'll drop to throw. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Give him 30 yards there. And he clocks it with just over 30 seconds left. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be a third and about 13. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Desperation time. Prescott on fourth. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. I've seen, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, third down situation, big third down alert, lock in here, fourth down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
And the Giants will kneel it here out of the victory formation. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and the people who really enjoyed this game, they're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal, that's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Giants, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from AT&T Stadium.